Alright, today we are setting some cable restraints. Gonna set some regular foothold traps, gonna put out some DPs. You can see this, if you've watched my videos before, you've seen this area before with all this goldenrod. But it's really bad this year. It's the day after Christmas. I'm gonna say it's probably 45-50 degrees, and this whole place is just a swamp. You can see the water's just laying on the clay. It's pretty bad. I'm trying to find areas that are dry, put in some cables. There's no such place. There's like 2 inches of water maybe laying on. Look at it. It's just mud. But we looked at some of this area here the other day. You can see all these trails running through it. Trails all over the place. Deer trails, of course. I mean, the deer have this whole area, like, all you can see are deer tracks everywhere you look. You see, if you look behind me here, I have a cable right there. I stuck that little stick in the ground here so the deer would hopefully jump over it instead of keep kicking it down. I fully expect to have to reset these cables every day. That's just something I have to deal with. All of these cables that I set today are almost all on deer trails. And we can see here, look at, can you see it? Deer track, deer track, deer track, deer track, deer track, deer track, deer track. I did see some coon tracks up there. It is very hard to see canine tracks here because the deer have it so minced up. It's just a question of if the canine gets into the set of another one here. I know you can just barely see it right there. Pretty good trail there. But like I said, they're all deer trails. They're all deer trails. I'm actually wearing my chest waders. That's how bad it is, how muddy it is. Pretty bad. More deer tracks. This one you can see really clearly. Right here. There's another one right there. Those are doe. I did see some bigger buck tracks earlier on. There's some more here. You can see the deer. You can actually see the deer trails. They use them so much that they're muddy. You can see in behind me here. Let's walk over here a little bit. You see this one right there? It's actually just mud. There's no solid ground underneath it at all. I have another cable. Let's see. It's right there. Good deer trail going this way, this way, this way, this way. They're coming off the neighbor's property on this side. I seem to do pretty well. If I set the trails, I'll go in and out of the woods. For my area here, I can't have entanglement. I can't use a snare. I can only use cable restraints. So all of these are cables. I seem to do quite well where I set areas that go into the woods or coming out of the woods, because the fox, I have had trail camera pictures of fox coming through here. They cut through. There's on the opposite side of this little woodlot. The woodlot is about 30 yards deep, and it goes all the way down to where the tree line splits, where the tractor path is down here. And then on the opposite side of it, there was a cornfield. Now the cornfield has just been cut. And then you can see the pine trees in behind me. It's a big, thick pine grove the landowner planted many years ago now, but it's super freaking thick in there. The trees really grew up, but they're all different sizes. Actually, I kicked a rabbit out this morning here. But if I catch something in here, it's gonna be soggy. It's gonna be a mud ball. There's another good trail there coming through from the neighbor's property right there. Look, see the little gap. I can't put a cable there because it's too close to the trees, but I could put a foothold in there. I deal with the same issue with footholds. You set footholds on deer trails, they're gonna be set off every night. The deer pretty much now, after gun season, and a lot of them are moving at night. They don't move during the day. I did find something. I do find canine droppings on this path occasionally. I did find something today. Uh-oh. Victim. There's one of my rabbits right there. Pretty much the skin left. Everything was eaten off of it. Now that could have been a raptor. That could have well been a raptor, because it's pretty much pulled apart. But we're gonna give the cables a go and see what happens, and put some more sets in here too. Oh, look at this beauty. No, I did not dig that, but something did dig it. That's a pretty good hole there. I don't know whether it's a chipmunk or a mole or what. It's right along the wood edge here. But that might not be a bad idea to put a foothold in front of that sucker. That's pretty good. Natural dirt hole. See, there was something here too. But that, I mean, that hole goes way down there. That goes, continues out that way. That's pretty good. Something been digging holes. Okay, made a little step down set here. God, I was just thinking about years and years ago watching Gonzo, Heath Gagnon. He hasn't been on YouTube in a long time, but he was one of the original guys that made trapping videos on YouTube, and I learned a lot from his videos. Man, that was years and years ago. Probably 2013, 2014, 2015. He always said that for coyotes and fox, the best step was always a step down set. You know, you make the pan lower than the. It's kind of hard to see because I had the dirt blended in, but it's 2 or 3 inches lower than the surrounding ground, and then you dig the hole. Now a lot of the guys would call this a trench set because it's long and narrow. My dirt hole is here, so I, dug out the dirt this way. I'm just at show you my location. Crop field, woods, little pine bluff here. There's a little creek here, so there's all sorts of trails and stuff in here. It's right next to the cabin. But I have caught fox and coon and stuff here before. Now right down here, you can see I set a DP. Something dug a hole here too. This was a much bigger hole, but I had put some bait out here already. You can see I've caught coons around this tree before, and what I've actually done was the branches that were remaining on it, I've just cut them off of it, because what they'll do is they'll get in this DP. I have the DP cable to the tree. You see I got a little bit of dry cat food in there, a little bit of Appler's coon lure on there. But look at this. Probably a skunk digging something up. I don't know what the hell he was digging, but it's a pretty good hole there. I don't know what's digging these holes. There's some leaf litter and stuff on it now, but I'll be interested to find out. But yeah, there's the DP. You can see there's a trail here. I have another trail here next to the water. Water runs in here. Water runs down here. You can see the little spring there. Comes right under the tractor path here. Back to my original set. If you want to see how to make sets, I have other videos on my channel about set making, dirt holes and setting cables and stuff. You can look on my channel, look on the trapping videos. But here's my dirt hole right here, and what I did was I dug it in at a pretty sharp angle this way. So the idea is the fox or the coyote has to step down into the trench where he's gonna set on that trap, hopefully. And for him to look into the hole, you see from up here he can't see down into the hole. So what does he do? He steps down in here so he can get his head down to look down in the hole that way. And hopefully when he steps in my little clearing here, he's gonna step right in my pan. I have a Bridger 175 in there on an earth anchor, and then I have another one behind me that I set on an MB 550. So we'll see. I got a log back in there. I've trapped around this log for years. You can see sometimes I have issues with tree roots, but it's a pretty good location. When the corn is up, I do get a lot of coons running this trail next to the woods right here. The coons will run that. But now that they've cut the corn down, that machine is pretty efficient. It doesn't really leave a lot of corn on the ground. Occasionally you'll find somewhere it fell out of the machine, like here. You can see little bits and pieces of it, like there. Sometimes that was already on the ground because the deer would have knocked it down, but mostly this is what you see. The machine pretty much picks the cobs clean. You get some grain falling out of it like this. So you will get the deer and the coons out still visiting the corn until they pretty much deplete it. There's a lot of corn here. The neighbor had corn too, but he cut it down about a month ago. So we'll see if that gets good eye appeal there, the nice dark dirt. Now I have the trap bedded in peat moss. I do have some antifreeze on it just in case the ground is really wet, and if it freezes overnight it's going to freeze down, so I did put some antifreeze on there. Okay, I'm going to put a couple of more coon sets out by the down by the pond. I'm gonna be in here checking every day, so I may add more sets to it. I put 7 cables out this morning. I have 7 cables. I have 1 DP right now. I got 2 dirt hole sets or trench sets, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, that was funny. Freaking Gonzo. Him and I think Jason Roberts. He was on YouTube pretty early too. Jason has a really good channel. He traps up in British Columbia. I believe he's originally from Newfoundland, and then he moved to British Columbia, and he has a trap line out there. He catches some cool stuff, wolverine and lynx and coyote, wolf occasionally as well. Yeah, he has a nice area up there. He's a cabin up there. Some of those guys have been on YouTube a long time. They were kind of the original guys. I'm trying to think who else I used to watch a lot of. Kurt McCutcheon. He used to post a lot of videos on trapping earlier on. Doesn't post so many now. I think he enjoys more so going out and trapping. The Trappers Trails and Tales. Kurt has a good channel too. You should go check that channel as well. I wanted to see if there was any deer. Did see 1 deer earlier on. It's now muzzleloader season. It's flintlock season. Weather is not conducive to flintlocks. It's super damp. You'd have to change your powder. Oh my God. You have to change your powder all the time. All right, let's put some more sets out and then we'll get going. It's hard to bed in rock. There's a lot of shale in these fields. It's really bad. Just soft up there it is. Should be frozen by now, but it's not. Pack the dirt down with a dirt hole. It's just, it's a lot of rock. That's why the farmers don't plow these fields. You can see this was an old soybean field. It's full of soybean duff. Look at clay. We got ourselves a nice dirt hole in there though. Let's pack it pretty good. What I like to do is get it a little deeper. Oh boy. Now I'll use use my trowel here to widen the face of it. Get a little bit more eye appeal. I'm setting this. It's out in an open field. As you can see, we're out in the middle of the soybean field now. I'm about 40 yards off the edge of the woods. This is in a hollow spot. It's in the lowest spot. So the hill comes up this side and then it comes up this side. And then the hill also goes over the edge of the horizon this way and then comes down. There's a big, like a navigation tree there. So I think the animals use that tree, that big tree, as like a marker. And the trail that comes past the pond is right behind my shoulder here. So they come out of that area, they cut through the woods that area to get to the crop fields on the other side. So a lot of times there's also a creek that runs down from where the pond is. It runs down through the valley that way. And I've followed twice now. I've seen a fox here this year already. Same location. He comes out from the pond, comes up over the hill. He'll go this way, or he'll go that way, or he'll come straight along the edge of the woods that way. So what I'm going to do is put this right here in the low spot of the field. Not quite at the top. I got a little bit more rise to the top, but this should carry that scent. The prevailing wind goes two directions. It's either going to go that way or it's going to come from this way. So it'll either carry the scent this way out across the field, or it's going to carry the scent this way down into the woods, down into the pond, and they'll be able to smell it. So we will see. I don't remember if I've caught fox down here. I've caught coon, I've caught skunk, I've caught grinners. I don't know whether I've caught trapped fox in this end or not. I don't usually put too many sets for fox down here. This time I'm using a Duke 550. See how hard that ground is. I want to get it up to the mid-chain swivel. I want to get it just about to the swivel. Set my luck. It's set now. Put some bean duff in behind that. Make a hole where I want to bed the trap. You can see it. On this one too, I've dug a little trench. I'm using hollow fill. I do have wax paper pan covers with me as well, but I'm going to grind that down into the dirt. I just want to make sure there's no rocks in there, that it's not going to move around. And more down on that side. Now I'm gonna pack some soil. I gotta watch where this is because there's a lot of stone. There's a lot of stone in here. I'm gonna get my antifreeze. I'm just gonna put a little bit of calcium around this. Stop it from freezing down. You thought I was gonna make coffee, huh? Not today. Get that bean duff out of there. cut this field quite a while ago, so. I also want to really bed your trap down good, that it's not going to move. Fill it between my jaw. You have to fill it a little bit more if you're not using a pan cover. I'm using an under pan foam. Pat the dirt down in my trench. This dirt here is really hard, so if the fox steps around there, the coyote steps around it, it doesn't feel right. We will not step in there. Now you can see the amount of rocks in here. Oh, I'm gonna put some of this original dirt in there. Sprinkler high, so it gives me a little bit of a blend. My antifreeze, my digging tools. Look at the rocks in here. Crazy. You know what we're gonna do is cover where I was kneeling there. We're going to spread dirt all the way around it. So it looks like something way more interesting than a human was digging in here. Because they'll see that patch, because this, if you look at the field, it's pretty much like a light gray color from the bean duff. So they'll see this patch of dirt from like 200 yards away. They'll see it. And they'll be like, oh, something was digging there. Well, at least that's the plan. At least that is the plan. I have a little bit of a mound on the back side of it, but not much. I'm gonna leave that there, it's still gonna come out. So, also the dirt is soft around it now, so if something steps around it, I'll be able to see it. Okay, on this one, I'm going to use some Joe Young's Final Step. Sawmill Creek. This is where this came from. This is like it's a predator bait, of course, but it's got a little bit of skunk in it. It's not super loud, but it's a little louder than like just standard bait. Get a good knob on there. Push that way down into the hole there so they can't get a hold of it real easy. This is K1, K9 lure. Again from Joe Young. Dude, I got all sorts of good stuff in here. I got Murray's Predator Getter. Coon lure. There's another Murray's Fox Call 200 gland lures. Another one from Joe Young, heavy hitter. Got some real strong colors in there. Another one from Sawmill Creek, Autumn Addiction Predator Curiosity lure. I think what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to go with the Predator Getter. Give it a good shake because it will separate. Murray's. Woo! Yeah, trapping season, baby. Up there. That's gonna go down the hole. Now we're gonna go a little bit of K1. Here doesn't take much, a couple of drops. That's that. You see, I've been using those detailer swabs, like I said. Push those right to the bottom of the hole. Don't make it easy for you to get them out. Go. I really like these for carrying my lures. This is just a cheap $4 Harbor Freight ammo box, 30 cal ammo box. It's good for carrying your lures. And that's about ready to go. We'll leave her set and see if it connects or not. So now you can see what I mean by the, look at how even further and further and further I go back from it, you can still see it. It looks completely different to the rest of the field. If I pan around, there's that big tree I was talking about. But, so I'm hoping that they come from the woods here, come from the pond. They tend to like traveling in the lower spots. The deer do the same thing. They travel in the low spots. So we're gonna leave her set and see what happens.